Hey everyone, it's Matt Palmer with SDxCentral. We're here for another edition of our interview series. And today I'm joined with Atsu-san and Masayu-san from ITOCHU Techno-Solutions America, also known as ITS America. They've been deploying SONiC using the open packet broker technology from Aviz at some of the largest telecoms in Japan. And they're going to tell us about their deployment experience. Atsu-san, do you mind introducing yourself? And Masayu-san, after that, could you introduce yourself as well?
Hi, I'm Atsu from CTC America. I'm a director of business development.
I'm Masayuki Ashida from CTCA. I'm a director of system integration department.
Thank you, gentlemen. One of the things that I'd love just to start off with is, let's see if we can put some groundwork or some boundaries around sort of the problem that you're solving. So maybe we start with thinking a little bit about tell us a little bit about some of the deployments that you've been working on, in particular using SONiC and Open Packet Broker, and sort of maybe the overall problem that you've been aiming to solve.
First of all, the challenge that we are facing is the high quality demand for Japanese telco. For example, if 1 million subscriber was outage for 1 hour, you have to report to the government, and that's how serious it is. And for the huge telco such as NTT, KDDI, SoftBank, they all have more than 50 million subscribers. So it is just too easy to get over 1 million outage. And in order to support those network, it is also challenging to use the open source network because it sometimes feels like you have no support. We get some huge support from Aviz Network, and we were able to solve these these challenges.
So if I summarized what you were saying is there's one challenge, which is regulatory, which is the need to report back when 1 million subscribers are out for an hour or more, of which I'm sure creates a lot of burden and a lot of work. And then the second one is the technical challenge, which is how do you identify these issues on your network so you do not have the outage? And the third is, I'm presuming is probably a cost piece, because it's got to be incredibly expensive to monitor the network of an entire country for these large telecoms. I mean, that sounds like a pretty big problem that's definitely there. Can you tell us a little bit about how you're starting to use the SONiC operating system to monitor these networks and essentially starting to look at the open packet brokers to do that?
For quite a long time, I was searching the product to support the telco network. To be honest, we were using another product at the first time. Then that company was acquired by another company. Then the price went like triple or maybe quattro. And that was a huge jump in a cost point of view. And so we have two challenges. One is to have a better cost-effective product to solve this problem. And second one, we are sick of doing those vendor lock-in product because acquisition just happens.
Yep.
And there's no way we can avoid that problem. To solve those problems, we went for the open source, such as SONiC. Yeah, then that's how we find open packet broker. Yeah, and awesome. We were like, oh, this is a thing. Yeah.
Well, could you maybe dive a bit into the details around sort of how you've taken SONiC with the open packet broker, and maybe talk a little bit about sort of the deployment scenarios for us?
I think it was like 2 years ago, so it was 2021 or 2022 that we met Aviz Network. Then eventually we start POC with CTC and with Japanese telco company together. I think it took almost a year to
Yep.
clarify the telco's expectation. Right now, we are using Aviz Network Open Packet Broker for the operation network or monitoring network. So I should say non-production network, but maybe in the future, we might be able to deploy the network in a production line by using open source network, which is not popular right now. But in the future, yes, it will be the majority.
Could you maybe share a little bit around how one of these telecom companies might measure ROI from a program like this?
So the initial ROI was very simple because by using Open Packet Broker, we were able to use any third party, not any, but most of the third party transceiver. The vendor locking transceivers are very, very expensive. And, those vendor locking transceivers and third party transceiver has no difference between the functions.
Yep.
And so for the initial cost wise, we see a dramatic cost reduction for the first phase. And I think in the future, by using Open Packet Broker, we also see the total integrated monitoring network on the same dashboard. We can reduce the running cost in that way.
This is really compelling. I love how you guys are actually using this. So now I'm gonna give you a little bit more of hopefully a little bit more of a challenging question. Is one of the things our audience is always looking for is what are some of the implementation challenges that you've experienced in this deployment, and what would be your advice to others as they're looking to go through a very similar journey?
There are many bugs, or there should be, and there is always bugs in the programs, but we can always go through because it's open source and its transparency is just better than any other product that you ever seen, because that's open source. That's actually beauty of the open source. We can always start Open Packet Broker by using what's that? How do I say it? Out of band network, sorry.
Yep.
Out of band network. So it will be safe to start. And later on, if you feel comfortable, you can always go for the production line. But we can always go for the out of band. And we should all feel safe. I feel like buying Aviz Open Packet Broker is more like buying a SONiC community. So it's not like buying a Aviz product.
Well, and then I think my last question is, let's look forward to 2025. And, in addition to the telecom example that you shared, where do you see SONiC and Open Packet Broker going in terms of either further adoption within the telecom or adoption within enterprises, going forward? What are you starting to see happening at customers?
We have to look for the 5G advance and probably 6G in the future. Then the network will be larger and larger ever before. From a system integrator point of view, the client's budget is always same. Even though we get the high demand, but we get always the same budget. So we have to solve like lower cost of the network by using open source network. Plus, what's that? We had to reduce some operational cost by probably using AI.
Yep.
That's probably the two keys to reduce the initial cost and the running cost. Yeah, in order to set the target budget price. And also maybe Japanese community is getting old, so there is not many people can operate the telco network. So that's why you have to also rely on the AI.
It's interesting that you bring that up, because I was visiting Silicon Valley last week and chatting with some friends, that it's not just a Japanese issue. It's also, it's also a North American issue, US issue as well, because, as we've been looking at networking as a service and other types of networking technologies to automate different networking functions like campus networking, so that as fewer and fewer people know the technology, they can work on, on the highest value networking, not can someone connect to a Wi-Fi device or, or a broker network, right? But really the networks that generate the most revenue. So, I think it's a common theme and a common driver for definitely using AI for this. Masa-san, do you have anything that you would like to add to the conversation, given all of our questions?
Yeah, actually,
and your expertise?
many Japanese companies want to work in hyperscaler technology. So SONiC is a very good use case in the many Japanese companies. So I'd like to expand SONiC technologies in Japanese market.
Gentlemen, this was actually incredibly enlightening for me to like, I love hearing stories about how these new technologies get deployed and are solving real world problems and provide hard ROI, whether it's saving money in terms of additional hardware or the soft costs of automating and being able to do more with less. So thank you so much for educating us on the deployment of really using SONiC and the Open Packet Broker to solve a real problem, particularly around ensuring high uptime for large telecom networks. So thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.